Welcome to tonight's episode of ChatPlays. I am your Marshall for the evening, Todd Moonbounce, and we'll be taking you through this story with Deadlands. So, if you are unfamiliar with Deadlands, it is a setting for the Savage World system. Is based on, so essentially you'll be rolling dice that represent your characteristics of your character. And one very exciting thing about Deadlands Savage Worlds is that those dice can explode. If you get the top number, the highest number on a die, you can continue to roll and keep going till it stops. So everyone in chat, you guys have access to our dice. So if you would like, exclamation point D and pick a number, and you can start rolling some dice. Go ahead and warm those babies up. Find out who you need to throw into the dice jail, as it were. Or a dice number on there as well, Zed. So D6, D12, etc. There we go. And another element of tonight's show is going to be our polling. So, to allow you in the chat to choose our options outside of making dice rolls, we'll poll you, such as this. And the poll will come up. Let's get that on top there. There we go. Okay. And as you see in the chat, it will prompt you to respond. So you can only vote once. You can't change your vote as well. Make sure you know what you want, and then hit submit. If you are a subscriber to the channel, your votes do count as 2. So subscribers do get a little bit extra input. And it is September, so 20% off that subscription if you're interested. But this is how we will decide our actions throughout tonight's event. So, I mentioned the Weird West options here. I'm going to bring up a file for that as well. So for this adventure, there'll be things that we collect, and they just simply call them Weird West options. And so we'll keep a list up there as we go along, so that as we get somewhere in the adventure, it might tell us if you have this certain option, then do this, do that. So, where is... There we go. Okay. So, first things first, we need to pick a character. Who are you? Who is your adventure here in the Weird West? We have 3 options for you all. Are you the daring gunslinger? Dual pistols? Quick on the draw? Are you a huckster? A magician of sort? A card shark that has some powers of another level? Or a good old, rugged Texas Ranger? Territorial Ranger. Texas Ranger, same thing. Those are your options. Here they come. 1, 2, 3 in the chat if you would like. Number 1 for the Gunslinger, 2 for the Huckster, and 3 for the Territorial Ranger. See how you can fare through our adventure with these individuals. All right. The twos have it, so we will go with our huckster. Oh, our huckster here, this is a seasoned character. So that is essentially the term in Savage Worlds for rank. We are seasoned, and we have card sharp. There you go. That's one of the edges for this individual. And gear, they're running with the knife, a derringer, and the deck of cards, which will be the main thing that you will utilize. And with the powers, boost, lower trait, and bolt are going to be what you'll utilize mostly. You will have 3 bennies there. Let's get your bennies together. And with that, I think we can get started here. So, you've been following a plume of smoke for 3 days when you begin your ascent up Mount Mazama. Through no fault of your own, you've gotten yourself good and lost on the Oregon Trail, headed for Portland. Food is always scarce in this country. Some folks have resorted to cannibalism in the Cascade winter, found themselves crawling around on all fours and barking at the moon by spring. Of course, you knew all that, which is why you set out in May. You were making good progress, too, when the blizzard suddenly blew in. Like the furious ghost of winter, she came and dumped 2 feet of heavy, wet snow over the entire state. Whether you were already traveling alone or something unpleasant happened to your companions is your business. Folks don't ask many questions this far west. In either case, you followed that plume of smoke and reached a small logging camp atop Mount Mazama on the 23rd day of May, 1879. Hungry and nearly frostbitten, the camp, perched on the edge of a cliff overlooking crystal blue Crater Lake, consists of 4 badly weathered wooden shacks. Shadows are long in this colorless place. At first, the camp seems abandoned. Then suddenly, you're attacked. Big Arms Bendy comes out of the fog rolling off Crater Lake, roaring like a crazed grizzly. He indeed possesses a pair of magnificently muscular arms, but someone has stitched them onto a native's body using crude black carpet thread. His eyes are cloudy like the eyes of a corpse. Seems Big Arms Bendy wasn't born, he was made from spare parts. And he's coming for you. Whoa, partner, though. Before Big Arms Bendy bashes your brains, let's find out how worse for wear you really are after wandering 3 days in the blizzard. 24 inches of snow doesn't make it easy to find grub out here. So, we start off with a survival check at -2, difficult conditions. In the chat, we're going to do a smarts roll to see if you were smart enough to bring along any food. So, smarts for our huckster is a D8. So I will take the first D8 in chat as a smarts roll. And I will also need a D6 after that. All right, we've got a fail. Let's see if our wild die comes up. So anyone else, give me a D6, please. There we go. All right, so that is a success. And we will say that you were wise enough to remember to pack some food. You had a pound of food on you, and that will grant you a bonus to your roll here. So that's going to be a +1, so we'll even it out at a -2. So we need to make that survival check, and that is going to be... Unfortunately, for our huckster, they are not efficient in survival, so that's going to be untrained. That's a D4 -2, so we're at a -3 on this roll. So, in the chat, I need a D4 and a D6 roll, please. Exclamation point D4 and exclamation point D6. All right, our D4 did not turn out well because that is a -3 to that. So hopefully our D6 can do us better. Same thing with the D6, exclamation point D6. There we go. And it is not. That is a 0. Not a critical failure, luckily, but still a failure. And so, we move on to starving. Is that growling big arms bendy or your stomach? We now make a vigor roll to resist fatigue due to hunger. So, D6 for our vigor. I need 2 D6s. To be a straight roll. Hopefully we can avoid this hunger here. Exclamation point D6. All right, we do have a success there. We have a success. You are very hungry, but you trudge on. You are, you're tough here. You've been in the Weird West. You know that you have to do what you can. We now continue on. What starvation didn't take out of you, Old Man Winter certainly has come to collect. We now need to make another vigor roll to battle the elements. This one, unfortunately, it's very cold out, is a -4. But were we smart enough to purchase a winter coat? We knew we were going to be traveling in this area, so let's get another smarts roll. I need a D8 and a D6. See if you were smart enough to grab a winter coat. All right, John, you have a 6 there, so go ahead and roll that again. See if you can get a raise out of it. Roll another D6 for me, please. Yeah, they won't explode in the chat, so we got to do that manually. Hey, keep it going. Looking at a 12 there. That's definitely a couple raises. All right. We level off finally. Excellent roll, however. And with that, with a raise, let's see, we're at a, well, this was on our smarts roll. So that was, you were very smart to bring the winter coat. And so that brings us to the vigor roll, which comes down to a -2 instead of the -4. So this time, hopefully we didn't waste all your good luck there, John. I need a a D6 roll. 2 D6 rolls. See if we can fight off this. No modifiers. Oh no. Don't get another 1 on the other one. That's not going to be good. Okay. Luckily, not a critical failure, but still a failure. Waiting in the snow for 3 days has certainly sapped your strength. You take 1 level of fatigue. We'll make a note of that. That is going to be rough. Fatigue there is going to cause a -1 to all of your trait rolls going forward. And it is tough to get rid of that. So that'll be a challenge to deal with. So, you're still walking? You're one tough hombre. It's not over yet. By the time you stagger into Cloud Cap Camp, how are you looking? staggering, stumbling, ready for a fight. Or maybe a bit hungry, but still on your feet. One or two in the chat. Right to it, ready to go. Get into the scuffle. All right, we'll wrap her up there. We are ready, looking for a fight. As the stitched horror charges towards you from nearby in the lake, as you see. It's time to make a fear check. This is a pretty nasty looking fella. We need to see if you can survive simply just the sight of it. So, fear check is going to be a spirit roll. And for our huckster, spirit is an 8. Solid there. So I need a D8 and a D6. And these are, unfortunately, -4. This is quite the abomination to see. All right, so that brings us to a 0 on that. And not there, so that will be a failure. And so unfortunately, we will be frightened. So give me a, let's see, that will be, it's going to be a D20 plus 4. This is going to be pretty big. So in the chat, I need a D20, straight D20. It's going to be a short adventure, yeah. Come on, Dicebot. Here we go. Okay, high number's not good. Plus that 4. All right, bring us to an 18. Minor phobia. Your character gains a minor phobia hindrance somehow associated with the trauma. Go ahead and pull that up and get the specifics there of our minor phobia. Hindrance. Just like all those, yeah, those walking pianos, eh? Alright, phobia minor. Whenever a character is in the presence, they subtract 1 from all their trait rolls. So, we are unfortunately at a -2 thanks to 1 from the phobia and 2 from the being fatigued. I think with that, we begin the encounter. Get these guys into combat. And begin. Alright, you've lucked out with a great card. You have an Ace of Spades. So you will go first here in this round of combat. Bring view over here a little better for you guys. And so, with that, I need to find out what you all want to do. The snow is tough to get through. So essentially some difficult terrain. You can attack, move in and attack, or you can attempt to run away. 1 or 2 in the chat here. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to attack the beast or run away? Alright, we're gonna try for the escape. Hopefully save our skin. We're already a little rough as it is. So, with that, to run away and try and escape into a nearby building, we will need an athletics roll. Let's see, what is our pace here? Is a 6, so no bonus, but no penalty either. And if we succeed, then we will get away. So, athletics is a D4. So, I need a D4 and a D6 in the chat to see if you are able to run away from this creature. You do have a head start on distance, but see where it ends up. D6 and a D4, please. Okay, no luck on the D4. All right, hit it again, John. That explodes. You might have to leave the command on its own. All right, great, an 11. That's awesome. So. All right, with that, you take off through the snow. It is super hard to get through. You know, it's up to your shins, if not deeper. And it's slow moving, but you do everything you can to get away from this beast as he begins running you down. But you are able to escape and sneak away into a nearby building. You make your way to the second largest building. You find the camp mess shack. The men gathered inside are fair-haired with steely blue eyes, square-jawed. They're the picture of manliness and determination. They were once tall and strong, yet not one still has his arms and legs. Of the 4 gathered, one has no arms, one has no legs, and 2 others have a pair of legs between them. "We're lumberjacks," one of them explains. Whatever face you make leads to a round of uproarious laughter. The armless man steps forward. "We were lumberjacks. Welcome to Cloudcap Camp. I'd shake your hand, but I can't for obvious reasons. My name's Bendy. They call me Butt Kicker Bendy. Also, for obvious reasons." Another round of laughter erupts. "We were logging around this dead volcano when someone went over to Wizard Island," that's what we call the island on the far side of the lake, "and found a nest of deadly giant hornets. We tried to clear them out ourselves and lost 2/3 of the camp. That's when Dr. Shelley showed up from Salt Lake City, an inventor of some sort. He told us he could build soldiers out of amputated body parts, said they'd be immune to the bug venom on Wizard Island. Unfortunately, he was fresh out of body parts, and we had to donate our own limbs." You look at the gentleman, and you agreed to that? "Well, you see, Dr. Shelley had this mechanical arm. Honest, a clockwork arm, better and stronger than a flesh of blood arm. He promised to make us all new arms and legs like this." "And that thing outside," you interrupt Bendy, "was called Big Arms Bendy because he was made from my arms. Those arms once belonged to me. Dr. Shelley used them to make his patchwork soldiers." "What was in it for him?" you ask. Butt Kicker Bendy shrugs. "Mad scientist, I guess. Sounds pretty fishy, but you let it go for now. So we all went under the knife, and he worked for a month making those things you saw. He went over to the island. We thought to clear out the nest, but yesterday his monsters came into the camp and attacked us. So what's your story? Well, you begin carefully. I was traveling to Portland on the trail when I got turned around. A blizzard came. I followed the smoke to your camp. One-legged man whistles. Stranger, you're a long way from the Oregon Trail. This here's Crater Lake. You're 150 miles from Portland as the crow flies. During your tale, Butt Kicker Bendy thinks quietly and says, Listen, stranger. On Wizard Island, Dr. Shelley has all sorts of steam-powered vehicles. If you can help us get rid of these stitched-together brutes, we can get you there. Shelley's horseless wagons would have you to Portland in no time, blizzard or no. What do you say? With no other way back to Portland, you're hired to disassemble one small army of patchwork horses. At this time, you're able to remove any fatigue that resulted from the cold. Very helpful, as you do gain some rest. You go down to no fatigue, losing that. You didn't take any damage as you ran away from Big Arms Bendy. So, no healing needed in that. Continue on. Though there are always a few lumberjacks within the mess shack, today many tables are empty. Clearly the population of Cloud Cap Camp has declined. So, what would we like to do? We can leave the mess shack, or you can see what stories and rumors are circulating around the men, or you're looking to do a little gambling. Here we'll leave mess shack. We want to hear stories about or do some gambling. And as a huckster, I have a hunch of what we might be doing. And oh well, John, on those missed roll on that -1. No worries. I think we're good there. All right, we've got a tie. So I will roll in the game, and we will do D20. 1 through 10 will be hanging out for stories, and 11 or up will do some gambling. All right, we are gonna do some gambling. Legless Lenny is more than willing to play a few hands of poker with you. As you come over and ask to play a game, hand or two, he says, welcome friends, looking to play some cards? Well, how about opening stakes of $10? You go and check your currency, your financial situation, and you luckily are pretty well off there in that regard. So definitely able to handle with that. So let's play some cards. Right. I get a token out here for Lenny. And I need some cards. There it is. Okay. We will begin here by dealing out 2 cards to each of you. 2 face down to Lenny, and then 2 to yourself, the huckster. I'm gonna move that up there. Big menu. Let's go ahead and reset our deck. Let's go ahead and shuffle, and we will draw. And hopefully this is face down. Okay, good. They are big cards. Oh, Lenny's cards are sitting there, and we will draw 2 for ourselves. Is the flip. Right. Oh, flip right there in front of my face. All right. 10 of clubs and 6. 10 of spades and 6 of clubs. Thank you for the errors. All right, and 3 cards to the face of the table. Brush here, see if. Stop yelling at us. Okay, looks like I gotta redraw my cards, our cards. All right. Yeah, so I was watching today. They were doing a preview of their official card support. So yeah, it'll be nice. It acts a little bit more like a table, not like what I'm using right now, but I'm sure there'll be people out there that will modify it. People were joking about having, Dice So Nice is a plugin to have the fancy 3D dice, and then having Cards So Nice, so can maybe get some really fancy cards out there. So looking forward to that, yeah. All right, so we will make a gambling roll and put another card in your own hand for every success and raise that you score. And as a huckster, I do believe that we will have some benefits here. So let's go look at, we have a D8 in our gambling, and okay, wagers, 1 free reroll when making gambling. So that will come in handy. So I need from the chat, please give me a, gambling is a D8. So I need a D8 and a D6 for our first gambling roll. Is not good on the dice today, Zed. But we get a free reroll, and I'll say that that includes the wild die. So go ahead and roll those again. Another D8 and another D6. All right. Oh yeah, that's a raise. I don't think we get anything else. You can go ahead and roll if you want again to explode it. Nice. All right. So with that, oh, actually it does count because for every success in raise, you get another card in your hand. So a 13, target number is 4. From that is going to be 9. That's 2 raises. So we get 3 more cards. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and draw those out. This will definitely help our hand. Ooh, a Joker. Hell yeah. Come on. All right. Let's see here. And then I need a D4 gambling roll for Lenny. Okay, so I will roll that, a D4 for Lenny. Ooh, he got it. Let's go ahead and explode that. I should have had the... All right, 7. So not a raise. He will get 1 more card. Hopefully this thing isn't broken. That 3 is broken. Oh, well, shouldn't have shown that, but that's all right. Okay, are we still in? I assume that we are still definitely in. We've got a lot of great cards here, so we are going to continue on. All right, turn 1 of Lenny's cards face up. We'll say we did, the 5. He smiles sadistically. I see you and I'll raise you, he says. Is he bluffing? He raises the stakes to $20. Are you still in? Yes or no in the chat, or 1 or 2 in the chat, I should say, if you're still in to gamble. I have a feeling I know what you'll pick, but... Alrighty, we continue on. And we see another card from Lenny's side, a 3. So he's not, he's got a 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, he's, there's a potential straight brewing on the other side of the table here. What are we looking at for us? We've got some hearts. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have a flush with our Joker there. So I'd have to check which flush or straight. Which one is high for that? Flush and then straight. So the straight is higher. Lenny leans back looking at his cards and he raises the stakes even more. $30. Are you staying in? 1 or 2 in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Absolutely. You're feeling good? Despite seeing the cards that he's turned over, you think that, you know, it's going to be tough for him to get that last one he needs. He only has the 1 left. You're staying in. Continue on. Now time to make the best 5-card hand that you can, and we know what that looks like. So we are going to be taking the flush with the hearts, and 6 queen 3, and then the joker wild. All right, and then we'll look at this other card. Hopefully it's not, what do we want? He needs an ace or a 6. It is not either of those. So he is unfortunately stuck with just a 2 pair. Pair of 2s. You can tell that Lenny is pretty stubborn. He will not give up on this. So the loser pays the winner $30 times the PowerPoint value of the winning hand, dealing with a devil. Let's see what that is again. Might be 5 points. Dealing with the devil. Well, you know, I could probably just do it right from our character sheet. There he is. All right, PowerPoints. What did that say again? Loser pays times the PowerPoint value of the winning hand. We had a flush. Hot damn, boys. Oh, flush was higher than a straight. Okay, then what I was looking at was backwards. But 10 PowerPoints. That is $300. $300 that we have earned. I'm suspicious that Legless Lenny, let's see here, I think Legless Lenny, okay, he sighs and turns his pockets out in desperation. Listen, stranger, I can't pay what I lost, but I am a man of my word. The next time you're on the street and one of those things attacks you, I'll be shooting from the mess hall window. He hands over $100, and he doesn't really have much else to provide, but he says that he will have your back as needed. All right, so we have gained Weird West option number 11. I'll mark that down. And still here in the mess shack. We now have a couple new options. You can leave the shack or listen to stories about. 1 or 2 in the chat. Would you like to leave the shack, go somewhere else, or do you want to see what else is going on here in the shack? Clean up these cars. All right, we're going to dip into the rumor mill. And so, with that, you're able to spend a good amount of time here in the mess shack and just kind of chatting up the other lumberjacks and see what you can get out of that. So this will be a persuasion roll. If you would like to basically offer a bribe with spending $75 on shots of whiskey and other bribes, we can get a bonus for every $75. Or we can simply just see what we can do. So, one or two in the chat. Do you want a bribe? Okay. Or do we want to go straight to just chatting up these lumberjacks? Alrighty. So you grab you purchase some whiskey that was available there in the supply of the shack, and you also maybe slip some money to people here and there as you go around trying to get some information from the lumberjacks. So we need a persuasion roll, and that will be for our huckster a d6. So in the chat, I need 2 separate d6s, please. Exclamation point d6. And we will add a +1 to that afterwards. Two for Zed. Oh, and a 1 for non-rough rolls. And with the plus, it's not going to do anything. So, at the top of the round, go to a poll. Or at the top of the game, we know that we have a Benny. Do we want to spend a Benny? I think the answer is going to be yes. So, do you want to spend a Benny and do a reroll? Right, as suspected. So go ahead and give me those rolls again. A d6 in chat. 1 each. I don't think they use that in this. In Suede, I don't think they use that. All right, that was a very worthwhile Benny as John gets a 6. So roll that again. See if you can get... Okay. But check this out. That is a 7 + 1. That bribe is going to be, yeah, massive. So that is a raise. Excellent Benny there. Let me mark that off from our thing there. Roll that on the table. And with that... we have a raise. 42. Tongues sure are wagging tonight. Those creatures have our arms and legs. The bodies we got from local natives. Some have animal heads, but the brain always comes from a man. And if you shoot them in the head, they go right down like a sack of potatoes. We have a telegraph machine in the supply shack, but when this all started, Bendy tore it up and won't let nobody call out. You can ask why, but it's not a question anyone seems to be answering tonight. And we have gained Weird West option number 9. All right, and we also have gained a Benny. So give a Benny, take a Benny, give a Benny. And you continue talking with further lumberjacks in the mess shack. Yeah, I know these beasts like the back of my hand. Heck, one of them has the back of my hand. How many are there? Oh, let me see. There's Oxhead, Antler Hands, Big Arms Bendy, and Poxy Polly. Girl? Yep. Right pretty before the smallpox got to her. She's a nasty one. There's just 4? Sorry, stranger. We ran out of limbs. Snow already slows them down. If you took their legs out, it'd be in a heap of hurt. So, a drunken lumberjack slurs. Foul whiskey breath blasting you in the face. You need to get back to Portland, and you need Dr. Shelley's steam-powered wagons to do it. Well, stranger, you help us kill off his patchwork army, and we'll get you into one of those wagons. He puts his only arm around you and gives you a drunken hug. Realizing that you've probably gotten all you can out of the mess shack, you return to yourself to see what to do from here. And it seems that you have pretty much ran out your options, and you are likely going to have to head out and see what else is available. So we will leave the mess shack. You step out into the frigid mountain air. There's pieces of patchwork men that lay scattered over the crimson snow. The first leg of this journey is nearly at its end. You leave the snowy camp road and have a few options that you can do. Would you like to head back to the mess shack? We're going to take that off because we know there's not much there. The supply shack, the barracks, or the chapel. 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. Where would you like to go? Visit that supply shack, the barracks, or the chapel. Okay. Now remember, any Twitch subscribers get a little more weight to their vote, we can avoid these ties. We will roll another die. Low for supply shack, high for barracks. Here we go. And that is going to be the second option, which was the barracks. We will head to the barracks. As you come to the barracks, you see a raven perched over the doorway. There's always a bit of bone, or a tooth, or some jiggling red string of flesh in its beak. It bobs its head as if it's laughing at you. Alright, here at the barracks, let's see what you can do. Didn't see anything interesting. Want to turn around and leave? Do you want to talk to the leader, Butt Kicker Bendy? Maybe about raising a posse to fight off these creatures? Or maybe ask about work, see if there's anything you can do. Or are you at a point where you need to sleep? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got some options here. Turn around and leave the barracks. Maybe go somewhere else. You want to talk to Butt Kicker Bendy? Ask about some work? Or take a load off. All right, we will see what Mr. Butt Kicker has to say. The barracks, as you come forward, are full of shouts and chaos. 2 men are brought in and laid bleeding on a table. We gain Weird West option 15. The lumberjacks all fail to stop the bleeding, and they turn to you, panic in their eyes. Can you help him? The milling saw came off the motor and cut them both real bad. So, we'll make a healing roll for each. Using a healing roll for each of them, or any powers we have, but we don't, as this huckster do not have any powers available for that. So that will be a healing roll, which unfortunately is going to be untrained. So I will need in the chat a D4 and a D6. We have 2 of these to go. Let's do with our first one. D4 and a D6. Oh, it's worse than Avray for you. Hopefully that wild die will do us a little better. Let's get a D6 there in the chat. And it's saying there's some new viewers here, so welcome, welcome. We're playing along, just as I call out, give me a roll with exclamation point and the dice I ask for. Unfortunately, Zed and John, you do not have success here. I will ask. You do have two. You have 2 individuals you have to aid. You have 3 total bennies. Do you want to spend a benny on this first roll? Type 1 or 2 in the chat for your choice. A few seconds. All right, we're going to spend a Benny. So go ahead and make those rolls again. D4 and a D6. You'll spend a Benny. All right. So looks like Zed, we have a total of a 6 and a 1 for John on the wild die, but that is a success. And therefore, we are good to heal the first individual. Not your strong suit and skills, but you've seen a thing or two, and you're able to help the first individual stabilize. All right, we need another round of healing rolls. So once again, a D4 and a D6. John, how about John? You take that D4 and see if Zed has better on that D6. Or that. Because, yeah, there you go. Oh, no. That is a critical fail. And not sure if it's... Okay. So, luckily, I believe, because we healed at least one of them. So let's go see what that says. All right. The two individuals... the 2 individuals before you, Lefty Lilquist and Stubbs Sternhagen. You help Lefty, the first individual. Unfortunately, Stubbs, you do not do well. You almost seem to make things worse. Lefty shakes your hand enthusiastically. My good arm is yours, stranger. My good arm is yours. We do gain +1 popularity, which is good to know. And we earn Weird West option 26. Stubbs Sternhagen, with a critical failure there, yeah, he definitely died. So with that, we gain Weird West option number 7. Update that. All right. Lefty does become an ally under your command. So we've gained some allies here. We have Lefty, And also Lenny, your fellow poker player. We're gaining up a little bit of a crew. So you are here back in the barracks as you've done what you can to try and save these individuals, and you're doing successful on one. But now you're confident there's probably not going to be much else you can talk to Kinker Bendy about. So you can either leave the barracks, ask about work, or go to sleep. One, two, or three in the chat. Would you like to leave the barracks, ask about work, or take a snooze? Okay. We've had enough. Probably don't want to show your face around anymore after that horrible display of medical practice. That's fine. We'll head on our way. Alright, just checking my options here, or what our options here. Don't have Weird West option 18, so we can go to that. We gain Weird West option 18. Alright. As you step out into the frigid mountain air, Big Arms Bendy's back. You can try to sneak over to another shack, or continue to fight. One or two in the chat. One if you want to stay and fight this beast, or two if you'd like to run away. Zed's ready to get into it. His hopefully some better luck on his fighting rolls, yeah? Okay, we're doing this. All right, we come into the combat. As Bendy is here, he should be 10 into the... Oh. And we do have some counterparts that are going to come out as well as you call out, and as Big Arms Bendy returns, your companions will help out. And with that, I need to find out. We're on number 148. Lumberjack 155. There we go. Okay. So we have Legless Lenny. Tactics, shoots from the mess shack window with the marksman edge. Ace 4, ally Lumberjack here. We have Lumberjack, and I don't think we have a Lumberjack. And get this far in the my own playtest, so that's all good. We'll use a gunman. Just go with that. We got Legless over at the shack, and then you helped Lefty Lilquist, and they are shooting from the barracks. Okay. And you just left the barracks. Kind of leave them there as well. Got to add these guys to the turn order. Quick. Lenny. Lefty, right? I think it was left. Yeah. Alrighty. Yes, John, it is. Yep. So, top of the round, Lenny is up, and he sees the Big Arms Bendy rushing towards everyone. He lines up his shot. He's going to go ahead and do so. Let's see what they have here. They have Lumberjack Axe or Colt Frontier Revolver. Yeah, cool. That's what they have, so that is awesome. Ooh, nice. That's going to be a raise. And a shot and a raise against there. And so, raise damage. Should have did called shots. But that's okay. Next time. Alright, well that causes shaken on Big Arms Bendy. Good stuff. Okay. That is his turn. Big Arms Bendy is up and will immediately have to try and shake to get out of that spirit roll. Will successfully shake off, get unshaken, no longer shaken, and can now act normally, and is going to rush towards the huckster that you're standing out in the open. The others are hiding from cover. While it did take a shot, it's frustrated, but it sees the close prey. So we need to make a run roll with them to see what that gets to. And that'll be 9 total pace. Oh, that's half of that because of the snow. So it's only able to make it there, lets out a roar as he's frustrated to get closer. We go to the next round. Lefty is up and will do the same as his counterpart, taking a shot. He's going to do a called shot to the head. He knows that going after this beast, that's the way to do it. So, full frontier, we will do a called shot to the head, and let's see if he can get lucky here. Oh, almost hit that 4. That is going to miss wide, unfortunately. And that'll be his turn. And we come to your turn. So, Mr. Huckster, what do we do? You guys have, you can cast a power or take a shot with your Derringer. Or I'll throw up here as well. You can run away too. What would you guys like to do? Try and shoot Bendy, attack him with a power, or run away. Okay. Oh, we have a new vote. But I don't think it'll be enough. So we're going to sit at shoot with a gun. So we will do so. And with that, I'm going to double check our range here on this. 3, 6, 12. So we may be at a penalty here. We will be within the within that second range, so it's a -2 to the roll. But you line up your shot, and we're gonna go ahead and do so. So shooting roll for your huckster is a D4. So in the chat, I will take the first D4 and the first D6. So please roll me a D4 and a D6 in the chat. Exclamation point D4, exclamation point D6. Alrighty. Zed with a 5. Unfortunately, we're at a -2 because of our a distance. And you know, we can... I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna negate that because you didn't need much. I think. Let's see, what was it? Just 3. We got to move in 2. Easy there. So you want to move back. So let me throw this up here. There we go. Do you want to move closer to negate the penalty to the shot? And you only have to move up a little bit. It will take double your movement because of the snow. But I think if you only move up to 1, you'll be fine. Yeah. All right, we'll call it there. So yes, we'll make that move forward, just 1 square, and that gets you within range of what you need to be. Your pace is a 6, so that used up 2 of that, so you have 4 left. So there'll be no penalty to your shot, which means Zed's shot earlier with a 5 will be a success and will hit. And so now we need to roll damage on this. So for the damage... 2d4. So, in the chat, give me d4. 1d4. You can only roll 1 dice at a time, and then I'll take the first 2 that I see. If you roll a 4, re-roll it, because that'll keep going. Exclamation point d4. Right. Very nice. So we get an explode on one of them. We're sitting at a 5. Nice. 9 points. Keep going. 12. We end with a 12. That is 2. Well, on damage, it's... Let's see, we got to check what we're going against. And Big Arms Bendy, he's a tough sucker. He has a toughness of 8. So you actually get over him with shaken, and you do cause a wound. This actually could be substantial here. So that is going to be... Okay, he wasn't shaken, so he becomes shaken and wounded. He goes down. The Marshal has not used his 1 Benny that the Marshal has, and will use that to soak that damage. So I'll spend the Marshal Benny, and that is a bigger roll. Success. That will remove a wound. Bendy is not wounded, but he is shaken. All right. And with that, would you guys like to move? I assume yes. We'll move away. The remainder, we have, we can go 2 more squares. 2 squares away. All right. Oh, we just kind of do what we can to get away. And we come to the top of round 2, drawing new cards here. All right. Bendy sat there at the top quick, but as the cards came out, the huckster has a ace of clubs sitting at the top. Very nice. And it will be your turn. So, what do you do? You want to shoot at him again? Do you want to cast a power, or do you want to run away? And a reminder of your power choice, you do have Bolt is probably going to be the power that you'll utilize here in this situation, as the others might not be the best. One, 2, or 3 in the chat. Shoot, power, or run. All right, so we will cast that power. See how this goes, and we, you know, I guess I could have thrown deal with the devil on there. We could have got. We'll think of that next time. So, Huxer is going to go ahead and cast Bolt here, and that will be a 2d6 damage as we attack out. That okay. So first, of course, we make our spellcasting roll. And that is great spellcasting. D8. So in the chat, please give me a D8 and a D6. We have a success. We can get any better than that. All right, not much. It's just a straight success, but that's good. It has gone off. And I'll go ahead and just do this just to get a check card. That doesn't count. Oh, the damage here. 2d6, I believe it was. Yes, 2d6. So, in the chat, give me d6. I'll take the first 2. Very nice. That's an explode. We're sitting at 10 plus another roll from John. One more, an 11. Okay, so 11 points of damage against Big Arms Bendy as you see the huckster pull out his deck of cards and fans them back and forth, shuffles between, and then they just begin glowing. And he then throws one up in the air, and it kind of like goes in a spark, a plume of light and smoke, and then just this bolt of energy comes out from that towards the beast before you, coursing through his body, and that will be enough to cause another shaken. It unfortunately does not wound him, and it does not wound him as a second result because he is hardy. It's because we only got shaken, unfortunately. So it was a good try, but carries on. You still have movement. I'm going to go ahead and say that you guys are probably going to still run away. Move away. You move 3 spaces. I'm going to move you a distance there. All right. And with that, we head to Bendy, who is super frustrated that you just attacked. He's gonna run. 9, so that'd be 4.5. So we'll round up and move the 5. So he rushes in to try and get after you. And we come to our lumberjack companions to see if they can help out, and they will be taking shots to the head to see if they can take out Big Arms Bendy. As Lefty goes, takes a shot, and unfortunately will miss. It's too tough to, even though this creature is massive, it's tough to aim and connect with him. And that will be his turn. Lenny is up. Lenny will do the same. Marksman is the marksman. He has the marksman edge, which actually might help us. Rate of fire, that doesn't matter. Oh, +1 to the shooting roll. Okay. Or ignore 2 points from called shots. Yeah, actually. Cool. So he will go. He didn't move last time. He should have got that last time, but I don't think it would have mattered. Well, he'll have a +2 on this, ignoring the called shots here. So, pulls out his gun, and we'll add on the +2. Balance out. Called shot to the head. See if we can get this done. Oh. Unfortunately doesn't. And we'll continue. Nothing. We come to the next round. And Lefty is up. Once again, taking another shot, trying to go for that headshot. Just cannot connect. Huckster, you are up. Hopefully we can get out of this. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to shoot? Do you want to use a power? Run. That's a good question. 10, and we just used 2. So we're at 8 of 10 power points. Test? You could do a test, yeah. Throw that on here. Do you wanna do a test and try and test Bendy, distract him maybe or something, give your counterparts better luck, or continue with that power? All right. So looking to try and test Big Arms Bendy, see if you can, maybe distract him or make him vulnerable. Maybe that would be the better thing to do, is make him vulnerable so that as the others take their attacks, they have a better luck doing so. So, look that up again. You call out at the beast and you... Let's see what we want to use here for... Taunt. Taunt would be good. Probably going to be the way to go. So we'll do a taunt D6. So in the chat, give me a D6. Take 2 of those. 1 for the wild die. Do have a success there. Well, not a success yet because we have to set the numbers. So give me another D6, see if we can get a little better than that, and give us our... Okay, that is not. The Big Arms Bendy has to go against. Taunt is smarts. So he has to beat a 5. And Big Arms Bendy, that's a good one to go against because he's just sitting on a D4. Ooh, and a critical failure for Big Arms Bendy. He does not have any, he does not have very much, brain power there, cognitive ability and whatnot. He's just kind of a big lurch, and you taunt him and call out to him, and he gets frustrated. You can see that he might not understand what you're saying, but he's understanding the emotion in it and is very frustrated. And so I'm gonna make the call and say that you're gonna make him vulnerable. I would assume that you'll go vulnerable, which will all attacks and damage against the target until the end of his next turn are at +2. So massive, massive bonus. Go ahead and turn that on. That is till the end of his next turn, which should be, I believe, yeah, so at the end of this round. All right, so at least Lenny will get the chance to try and take him out with that. And I'll move you further away from, let's grab one of these and give it more down than over. Okay. Lenny is up. Lenny is that marksman. So he has +2 from that, and he also has a +2 from vulnerable. That will even out the called shot to the head. This could be it. He holds steady from the doorway. Lines up his shot. Oh, and that is a hit and a raise. 9. Where did the 9 come from? Oh, he's vulnerable. Oh, it calculated that in. That's why. So it's not a raise. It's not raise damage. But so that is going to be damage. +2 to damage roll. Damage roll +2. 9. Okay. That is going to be, I think that's another shaken that he's going to shrug off, unfortunately. But let me check called shots to the head because there might be something extra to that. Ooh. Called shots. Hitting the head adds +4 damage to the attacker's total. Boom, there we go. Okay, so that's a raise. That takes him out. That will cause the wound against Big Arms Bendy. There are no more Marshall Bennies. Big Arms Bendy falls as Lenny, the man that lost to you in poker, kept his word and said that he would do what he can from the confines, from the cover of the mess shack. That brings us to the end of combat. Excellent. Good stuff there. So, back to our thing here. Let's see. Big Arms Bendy. If you incapacitate the enemies, 153. All right. So we have killed Big Arms Bendy. We've gained popularity. We are now at +2. We do have lumberjack allies. Let's see if you killed 4 different. No. 167. All right. You had stepped out into the cold. You had left the barracks, and that's when Big Arms Bendy had returned. At this time, you now can go look at a couple places you haven't seen yet. The supply shack, the chapel, or the barracks, because you could also go there and still check for work or go to sleep. So, supply shack, barracks again, or chapel. 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. Where would you guys like to go? Alrighty. The crowd has spoken. We are off to the chapel. As you head towards the small makeshift chapel here in this camp, you touch the door. As you go to touch the door, and it flies open. There's a wind that extinguishes out. And the wind opening from the opening door extinguishes all the candles in the tiny sanctuary. You briefly hear the whispered prayers of a dying man. The man who ministered here was killed. He died in this very room. How you know this? You're not sure. It's a terrible certainty tells you it's the truth. You head in and sink down into a cold wooden pew. John, sounds good. Thank you for coming out. I think we are going to look to wrap up here in a moment. And actually, I think this will be a good point to wrap up as you come into the chapel and you take a seat into the pew, and then we will decide where to go from here. I do plan on continuing this adventure for a little bit more, definitely. So I think that's a good point. So thank you guys for coming out and playing. Hopefully we can get some more people out next time to help out. We'll pick up back here as we're in the chapel of this makeshift camp and see what happens. So thank you so very much again, guys, and have a good rest of your evenings. Yeehaw.